As you walk down, the world sees you and
Okay.
Black Queen, do you not know who you are? As you walk down, the world sees you and is intimidated by your crown. They try to take and rob what is ours. Black Queen, you are truly a queen indeed. Even the struggles that we go through, they don't know the pain and the anguish. But Black Queen, baby, you are a queen indeed. Black Queen, queen indeed. You really are a queen indeed.
Not a problem.
But it feels
She's
like
used
a
to
problem.
seeing herself
I'm
a certain
used to seeing
way.
myself a certain way. The rest of me looks pretty good.
Look, yeah. Let me tell you, you be putting me to shame on the beach, so give me that. Okay?
Yeah, straight up, yeah, honestly. What's one part of your body that you dislike the most?
Well, I'm going to tell you what. I've been getting a lot of questions about why I've been wearing this turban.
Yeah.
Well, I've been having issues with hair loss. And I'm going to tell you, it was terrifying when it first started. You know, I was in the shower one day and then just handfuls of hair just in my hands. And I was just like, oh my God, am I going bald? Mm-hmm. It was one of those times in my life where I was literally shaking with fear.
That's a really scary experience.
Yeah. That's why I cut my hair.
Yeah.
And why I continue to cut it.
Yeah, just to keep it
right. I just had like another okay, I think we're gonna do another layer of cutting, you know. And my hair has been a big part of me. Taking care of my hair has been a beautiful ritual, you know, and having the choice to have hair or not. Yeah. And then one day to be like, oh my God, I might not have that choice anymore.
Yeah, because you had a lot of hair.
A lot of hair.
Really thick, healthy, beautiful hair.
Thick, to the point that people always thought I had weaves. They're like, that's not her hair. I'm like,
right.
Yes, it is.
Right.
Yeah, and I've gotten every kind of test there is to have.
Yeah. So they don't really know.
They don't know why. People have said stress. People say, oh, you do have alopecia. Even in my terror and even in my fear and in the moment of just going, oh my God, like, why are you so terrified that you might lose your hair?
Yeah.
Right.
I really had to put it in a spiritual perspective of like, the higher power takes so much from people. Mm-hmm. People are out here who have cancer, people who have sick children. I watch the higher power take things every day. And by golly, if the higher power wants to take your hair, that's it? God, you want my hair? When I looked at it from that perspective, it really did settle me.
Yeah.
Like, as if when I had to think about, well, what else would you lose? What else would you put on the table for God to take?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Take the hair.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Take it.
I've had some definite hair regrets, for sure, specifically on covers. What the hell? Being a black woman and dealing with hair in Hollywood, especially in the era that I came up in, having your hair look as European as possible was always the thing. And that was really challenging, you know, because I liked my hair out wild and curly, but nobody wanted that. So I always had to do my hair in ways that didn't feel natural to me because I'm trying to play the game. So if I'm doing a cover, everybody, no, we want your hair straight and flowy. And it's like, all right, cool, but that's not really like what my hair likes to do. So I had to learn to get the courage to just go, nah, I'm not doing that. Which is why I feel the freedom today. I don't give two craps what people feel about this bald head of mine, because guess what? I love it. I've had some definite... Now at this point, I can only laugh. Now, y'all know I've been struggling with alopecia, and just all of a sudden one day, look at this line right here. Look at that. Look at that. And so it just showed up like that. Now this is gonna be a little bit more difficult for me to hide. So I thought I'd just share it so y'all not asking any questions. But you know, Mama's gonna put some rhinestones in there. And I'm just gonna make me a little crown. That's what Mama's going to.
Hi, everybody. So this topic is a very sensitive topic, and I know, we are all here to talk about the Will Smith and Chris Rock smack. But I was talking to my girl Crystal, and we got a little emotional, didn't we?
I did.
Because it was deeper
And just a slap.
Just a slap. Because being a Black woman, I said I'm not gonna get emotional. But being a Black woman, when we don't have a lot of people that come to our defense, and people look at it as, oh, they're comedian, we get there. But Jada was struggling through something. Only her husband knows exactly what she's going through. And Black woman. And I showed you guys that, that episode of her talking about it, because we don't talk about, Black women don't talk about their hair a lot unless we're in a salon or we're talking to our girlfriends and stuff like that. We don't put it out in the open. And it's more than just hair. And it's our crown. It's who we are. And that's the part of the slap that we want to start with. I want to show that, that episode of her talking about it. And I just want to, your input, like how you feel about that, what she said and what she's going through. Can you relate? Do you understand? Please join in.
I'll go first. I definitely relate to her because I suffer from, it's not a medical condition, but it's a mental health condition where it's called trichotillomania, where it's like an OCD, but it's linked to anxiety. And I pull my hair out, and I've been doing it since I was a kid. And I've done it to the point where I have had bald spots, and I have had to cut my hair off multiple times within my life. And nobody never knew. And I just, at the end of last year, just came out publicly. I was so embarrassed, so embarrassed. So there were many times throughout my life as a kid, teenager, and adulthood where people talked about my hair, but they don't really know what I'm going through behind closed doors as to why my hair looks like this. Again, to them, it's just a joke, but it wasn't a joke for me because I was really dealing with stuff, internally, and nobody knew. So I definitely relate as to how she feel. And she's probably heard a million different jokes. Like, the stuff gets old after a while, but at what expense? I just feel like that nobody else, that joke would not have been directed at another group of women.
I think
like
the
that.
biggest thing with me was that recently, after having my baby, I started to lose, and like right in the front. So that was a big thing for me. And I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't have any edges. And more so it's them making them a big joke in the media. Lately, Jada Pinkett and Will have been the biggest joke in the media since the entanglement thing started. And I think what it really is, they're tired of being the biggest joke. Like, at what point do you say, why am I we're the only Black people in this audience, and yet you decide to make us the biggest joke when we've been the biggest joke throughout the internet this whole time? Like, then not to mention the fact that he made a joke about her last Oscar. So it's like, how many times are you going to continually joke about me, and you think it's okay to joke about a Black woman, you being a Black man? Like,
yeah. I actually
being a Black man with Black daughters and making a documentary about Black women's hair. You did a whole documentary called Good Hair because I forget how something about his daughter.
What he was saying was that his daughter has good hair, and he was so surprised that his daughter came out with such good hair.
The I watched that documentary before I went natural, when I first went natural, and after being natural for some time. It was such a good documentary. And to my understanding, now where it's coming out that somebody wrote the joke for him, and I feel like that was a setup.
Wait, Crystal, before you continue, I actually like good hair. I know he said he made it for his daughter, but I thought that I like it because he actually showed what Black women go through, and I actually enjoyed it, and I was like, okay, I like this. So to see him make fun of Jada, you're talking about your own daughter,
right?
And that's the part that I don't think he understands. And can you continue? Because you said that somebody wrote the joke for him.
Yeah, so apparently somebody wrote the joke for him. And just like Zabada said, just in 2016, he made the joke to them. But if you remember that year, she boycotted the Oscars for not having.
Yes. I have that joke.
The diversity coming back now the other night was because that they started to have the inclusion of Black actors in movies. So I just felt like the first time, it's kind of like, why would you talk about somebody? They not here to defend yourself. And now they're here because they got what they wanted with the inclusion of diversity. And then you still sit there and talk like, it's like damned if we do, damned if we don't. Whether she was going to be there or not, he was still going to keep talking about her. Yeah. Okay, I just, the whole, I was going to say, I do kind of feel bad for Chris to a certain extent, because somebody wrote that joke for him and he got the brunt of it. I don't really feel that bad because he still told the joke, and because he was talking about this young lady a few years ago before, but it's just it came at a wrong time. It was just
everybody has choices. Everybody has a choice to make. You can make a conscious decision to say that I'm gonna stick beside my people and I'm not gonna keep hounding this woman at the Oscars. You get what I'm saying? It's unfair. And to think that it's okay to even disrespect a woman in front of her husband, and you think her husband is not supposed to stand up for her, that goes to show how many women are actually protected, period. Just by how many people look at it and say Will Smith was wrong. How? Because it's a time and a place for everything, and I understand that, but when is it time for me to protect my wife?
So that's the part I want us to talk about, protecting Black women and our hair. As you guys can see the world, right? Black women are on the bottom of everybody's joke, including we can get a certain hairstyle, and then later on, no offense towards another race, but another race can take it, and then all of a sudden, oh my God, it's popular. Oh, Black women can't even have full lips, but now everybody want to get injection for their lips. So being a Black queen, it is hard because the world they accept the objects of who we are. And when I say objects, could be exactly the hair, the lips, the butt, but not the actual person. And that's the hard part of being a Black woman. We deal with so much, and I see like Jade, she's strong, okay, because for her to sit there. And it's like, you could tell that she already seen it coming. Like you could tell.
She was disgusted.
Her face. Yes.
Her face. Yeah.
Listen, the whole time, even before he started to make the joke, she had a couple of eye rolls. She was just like, once she seen him go up there, she already knew what it was. Because like I said, she's always the object of his jokes. Yeah. Every year. It's like, when does it get old for you, buddy? Like,
so that joke itself, like, you was already targeting these two couples. So now when they're in front of you, I don't know who wrote the jokes for him. And Krista, you said that somebody wrote the joke for him.
What they said.
But you know, at the end of the day, that's why it's good to have good team. And somebody must approve of it, and he must approve of it, because you're not gonna say a joke unless you can approve of it yourself. And so you know what's hard, guys? You know, this is his first Oscar, and everybody's talking about the slap.
Nobody's talking about his accomplishment.
Thank you, his accomplishment. And it saddens me, but he says something, and I'm gonna play it later on. But anybody want to comment on, you know, what we just saw? Because obviously you was already targeting them before they even entered the room.
And then I heard somebody say that something happened in 2018 too. I'm not exactly sure what happened then. I'm not sure. I really didn't have time to look into it. But this, I think that all of this, because didn't just a couple weeks ago, there was a bill passed saying that they can't discriminate against hair anymore. Like, why was that even a bill that needed to be passed? Right.
Oh, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that.
There's a lot of, we are the only race that can be discriminated as far as a job for our hair. But then Karen could go get box braids and she think it's cute. No, it's not cute. And then, because you know, it's all here on TikTok. Well, TikTok is here for the people. You go on there and they're big mad. They are really big mad that they think we're gatekeeping a hairstyle, and is way deeper than a hairstyle. Because we can't even wear locks or braids to work, and we can't get jobs for that, but y'all think it's okay. We're wearing cornrows and stuff, not knowing that there's a history behind the hairstyle. There's a reason why we wear these braids. Like in Africa, you're African, from Benin, and the cornrow, certain hairstyle symbolizes your tribe. I just had a conversation the other day with a Nigerian man, and he didn't even know this, that here in America, our cornrows in slavery was to hide seed, rice, corn for when we escaped our slave owners, and to again also, the patterns they showed the slave escape routes. Right. So no, I don't want you, Karen, wearing these braids, because we wore the braids to get away from y'all, bro. Okay. You know what? Make it make sense. No, I don't want you wearing these braids, and now your hair gonna fall out. Now you gonna be crying. No, because it's not for your hair type. Let us have something. You already done took our lips. You already done took our butt. You already done took our men. But the ones you got, you can have. You know, let's just be honest. You can keep the ones you got, you can have. We don't want them. We don't want them coming to the cookout. But it's like we can't have anything. And then for that bill to just be recently passed, it's 2022.
Yeah.
That's so crazy to me. I remember when I went back to school and I wanted to become a healthcare administrator. I had a conversation with my administrator, and she's Haitian, and I was natural, right? And I asked her, I said, do you think that once I got to this position, they will tell me to change my hair? And if they do, should I? She told me yes.
Why?
Change my hair to appease them. If the job didn't feel comfortable with me in that position with natural hair, that I should change it. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
I wonder what they're afraid of, because it's something fearful with it. And I think because they realize how powerful it is, especially when we wear our box braids and our cornrow, it gives some kind of power. Because see, you got to understand that if they can take your power, which is our crown, then they can have all control. Because it's ridiculous that they're actually voting so that like young ladies can wear their natural hair or wear
work. They deem it as unkept or unprofessional.
Unkept.
By whose standards? By whose standards? So if I came in with box braids and she came in with box braids, would you tell her to take them out? Or would you tell you'll be more inclined to tell me first? No. I was the only one in management. Hair big, box braids big, half a head braids. They lucky they ain't catch me. I ain't dyed my hair pink till after I got fired. They lucky because I would have rolled up in there with that too.
No, it's just I feel like the audacity, because it's just, to me, you know, our hair symbolized so much. I remember when I was young and my mom used to braid my hair, and we used to have conversations, you know, and I love that, you know, and it's a bonding thing. And to me, you know, I haven't worn my braids in a long time, but even when my mom helped me take out my cornrow underneath my weave and stuff like that, we have conversations and we bond, and and it's something that, like, because not only am I African, but, you know, it's just like sisterhood, you know, it represents sisterhood. It represents learning from one another. You know, even though I hate it. She used to buy me a doll baby, and I used to hate doing her hair. I hate it, but I just enjoyed that moment. Or even with my sisters, you know, we used to sit around. Everybody used to help everybody take out each other's hair, and it's sad that, like, other race don't recognize what that is, and recognize the power of hair. To a black, you know, to a black queen. You have something to say her? I know, but it's just it's so much more than what the world thinks, and only if you're in our shoes you can recognize what it is, if that makes sense. You know,
I don't think I quite understood the meaning of my mane until I got older. My grandfather, he's a black man. He's a black Hebrew, might I add. And his biggest thing was, you never cut your mane. When I was younger, I used to get teased in school. You know, I don't look like any of my siblings. I don't look like my mom. Well, I look exactly like my mom, just different skin complexions. And when I was in school, people used to tease me. It wouldn't be nobody in the seat behind me, but in the seat behind that seat, somebody would be yanking my hair, knocking my head back, pulling my hair back. So I would go home and I would cut my hair. I would get bubble gum and I would get it stuck in my hair. And I just always wanted to cut my hair. My grandfather was like, you never cut your hair. Your hair is your biggest part of you. That's who you are. You know, when you cut your hair, you're cutting memories off. You're losing so much by cutting your hair, that the more you cut your hair, the more of yourself that you lose. So as I get older, and since my grandfather has passed away, I haven't cut my hair. And I just, like I said, I'm just now realizing how important it is, especially with things like this in the media, because it's like, when is hair really accepted? Like, why did I feel like I should cut my hair because I'm being teased about it? Oh, you're adopted. You don't look like them. Like, but I am them. I do come from a black woman. How can you tell me who I am and who I'm not? So I let a lot of people dictate my decisions and what I did with my hair. So now I'm back to just growing my hair out, and I don't think I'm gonna cut my hair ever again.
And that just right there, to tie into what Jada said in the beginning, where she said, you know, she lost the option. I think that women who have long hair and who can cut it short, who can have that versatility and be able to pull it off, you're fire. You are dope. You are beautiful all the way around, because like her grandfather said, there were a lot of, especially men, a lot of people who put a lot of emphasis on not cutting hair or having it really, really long. And I think that if you could pull off both, you do. I had long hair too. I've been bald for the last 2 years and I'm still cute, period. Okay. I think that losing that option was really what hurt her. And with a lot of other people who suffer from that condition, I think personally, I think she looks so good bald. Yeah. I love it. I think that because we have the option to do so much with our hair, we just need it there to have the option to do something. But when that's taken from you, a part of you is taken away as well.
Yeah, I want to talk about the alopecia because, you know, especially like, you know, I'm a dark skin, sexy queen, as y'all can see. But
Everybody likes chocolate.
okay. But being a dark skinned woman and you know, like luckily, you know, when I was younger, my hair was a nice length and stuff, but taking care of my hair was something sensitive to me, you know. I remember I used to, you know, used to cry. You know, you can ask my sister, I used to be like, cut my hair, mom, because I hated it. I hated the combing, the brushing, and this and that until I got to I think middle school, and I started to like really appreciate my hair. I still don't like doing it, but I appreciated my hair because, you know, it comes from my roots of who I am. And my mom used to love to put like pixie braids, you know, or she would, you know, do her hair a certain way. And people would be like, oh my goodness, like your hair is so nice and stuff like that. And I realized that even braiding, you know, it's a culture thing.
That's a skill too.
It's a skill. And to have, and I feel like when it comes to Black queens, we learn to do anything. You understand? Back in Egyptian time, okay, let's go that far back when some people were in cave, but we're not gonna go there.
I said it on the last one. Not using soap and seasons, but they stole.
Egyptians, and I'm talking about because okay, I say we're not gonna go there, but some race just was created 6,000 years ago. I'm gonna stop there. But back in the day when Egyptians, you know, they braiding was, if you look at the old Egyptian like paintings and arts, braiding was a big thing. The men used to have their hair braided, and it comes from the root of Africa. Just before all the Middle Eastern everything. I'm talking about
and they were wigs too. They were braided wigs.
They were braided wigs and all. So it's a unique, it's something unique behind it. And I feel like being a Black queen, you have to appreciate your ancestors. And then going back to slavery time, when they used to design the different hair for different routes and how to go. Harriet Tubman was, okay, she was a baddie. Okay, she was bad. And a lot of people don't give her that credit. But just so that you can find your way to freedom. And I thank God that our people have skills like that. Skills. And losing your hair from you, like losing your hair is something sensitive. Even cutting your hair is something sensitive. When I cut my hair, sometimes I get, you know, I get a little sensitive because like, oh my goodness, because it's even though it's dead hair, it is part of me. So when you have alopecia or, you know, God forbid people had cancer and stuff like that and they lose their hair, it is something sensitive. And I don't think it's something that the world should be laughing at or taking it lightly of, because sometimes, you know, you can't say somebody, oh girl, you bald. You don't know her struggle. Mm-hmm. You don't know what she's going through. So how dare you? And I feel like that's why I say when it comes to Black queens, we don't get like, it's just, we don't get appreciated the way that we do, because you don't know how it is to take care of our hair. You don't know the pain that, you know what I mean? And then to lose your hair, it's a hurtful thing. And that's the part of this story that I don't think people understand. You know? Now, y'all ready to talk about the slap? Because I'm gonna show the video and then we're gonna go right into it. Okay.
I just had one more comment. I have a friend who has a daughter who recently got one of those booster shots, and her hair fell out. Now she has alopecia.
Wow. I heard that too. That's not the first time I heard that.
They said that it was something that had laid dormant, and that booster shot like activated it, and all her hair fell out. I mean, she had some long, beautiful hair, and now like, I mean, it's like completely bald. And I say that to make another note that it was a 12-year-old girl I was reading on social media. It was a 12-year-old girl who had alopecia who just killed herself. So people don't really understand how much of a big deal that hair is. You know, she's a little bit older. Jada's a little bit older, and she's stronger, more so as to where it won't lead to that. But let's just think about the other Black women in the community who will be experiencing these things, along with stuff coming like these booster shots and things like that, because I feel like a lot of that stuff is not made for Black people. So it does activate these different things that you have going on, but you never know what a person is going through. Because like I said, a 12-year-old girl who had alopecia just kills herself. So just imagine if Jada wasn't as strong. Everybody would be so sad. Everybody would be, like Chadwick Boseman, like when he was so sick and everybody talked about him and people were talked about and ridiculed so much in the media, and you never know what they're actually going through. It's just crazy.
We need to be more sensitive to our people. And I know that, let's go into the, I know that comedians are comedians, but we've been the butt of everybody jokes for a long time. Sometimes I feel like, why, just because you're Black and I'm Black doesn't mean that you should say something offensive, and I feel like we're not sensitive towards one another. But let me go into the joke so that,
get a little laugh.
Yeah, girl, that's smack. Yeah.
Him saying it was a G.I. Jane joke, I feel like he was trying to diminish it. Like, yeah, it was just a joke on the surface. It's like an iceberg. The G.I. Jane joke is what we see above the water, but underneath that is so much more.
Can you go to the G.I. Jane? Oh, I'm sorry. You say something before, Crystal, with the G.I. Jane and the whole cheating thing. Remember?
So
apparently, about to say that.
You was about to say it. But I never saw G.I. Jane, but apparently it was more than just the hair, that G.I. Jane in the movie cheated on her husband. Is that what you were going to say, Zabada?
Yeah, and then it was also another part in the beginning of the Grammys when Will Smith and Jada Pinkett came in together, that somebody doing interviews made a little joke with them about entanglements. And I'm just like, is that okay? Like, why does everybody think it's okay to sit here and joke about it? Just because you see something that's going on social media doesn't mean that, me as a person, I'm going to go to this other human being who has emotions and feelings and say something about it, not knowing how this affects this person. Like, okay, I've been seeing the jokes on social media. It's enough for me to come here with my husband to accept an Oscar and for you to say something about an entanglement. It takes away from the whole night.
Exactly. And Tara just said she had an affair with the younger man in the movie.
August. Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like I understand his frustration, and you guys have to understand that it have nothing to do with anything, but I've been seeing just the BS. I'm sorry. But they're saying that, Will is not tough enough. They started bringing up the Tupac and how, he's trying to show his toughness, yes, and everything. And you got to understand, like, Will Smith, he's one of my favorite, and I love it because most of his stuff is very clean. It's very exactly, and it breaks my heart. I don't know if that makes sense, y'all. It breaks my heart because I always want us to win. And I like Chris Rock, and they both accomplished so much. And the world is just, because that's the first thing they're gonna say. Oh, look at those Black men. Look how they act. No, they can't even be. We are targeted so bad, and I feel like winning an Oscar, that's a big thing. And like Chris Rock, like, why? Even somebody told you to say that joke, and I'm okay if he would have said, keep my wife's name, but when he physically touched him, I know it was anger. That's the part that I do disagree with, like, you deal with the media so much that you can't keep your composure just for that
Forever.
little bit of time. No, but just that little bit of time, because it take away from his accomplishment. The
It
world
does.
see it. Like, to us, he's gonna always be my biggest fan. I'm not gonna, like, that's it. He's not I'm not gonna, but to the rest of the world, I don't want him to look at him like, I feel like he's part of my family. I don't want the world to look at him like that, because he is big, and he deserved that platform. He deserved that star. And because of anger, and I'm gonna go to what he say when he say his speech, but that's how I
that I think he had just had enough from everything he has gone through from my childhood until that very moment. Like Zabada said, he's been the butt of the joke, the entanglement, so many years. I think the slap was more than just him being fed up also. I saw something where in his book, he talked about how one of the most defining moments in his life was where he saw his father hit his mom so hard that she passed out. And he talked about how he felt bad because he couldn't defend or protect her. So that slap was for his mama. That slap was for his wife. That slap was for everybody else who tried to talk bad about him. There's a song by Jordan Lucas where he paid homage to Will Smith. And on the remix, Will Smith is on the song. And in the song, he says, even though the streets call me corny, I never let the hate change me. I didn't have to cuss just to keep it real. He's been playing the nice guy and turning the other cheek his entire career. And this just one moment, he was like, F it, I've had enough. And he hit him. Do I think he might have gone, I believe he might have been going too far, but I'm glad that he protected his wife to his mom, because I know that slap was for his mama too.
Yeah.
I would like to see more men, black men especially, protect black women. That's what I want to see more. I was happy that he protected her.
Yeah. This past year, as far as like with releasing his book, you know, he just did that movie. He just had a new movie out, and I felt like it was a lot dedicated to black people. I feel like he has just so much things going on this past year, and definitely a big step with that book, with releasing so much of himself and his life. With on top of that, this entanglement, being in the media, with him releasing so much of his life, is just like so much of his life is just like out here. You know, now everything's all on the board. You know, all my chips are off the table, and you see what it is for. And y'all try to take that and use that to demasculate me and make me look more so like a punk. Like, oh, Jada's saying all this, that, and the third. The Red Table Talk, he came on there crying just about the situation. But like he's always said, it's never been infidelity in their relationship. And I keep going back to that because I feel like that's what in the media really broke him. You know, that image that him, his wife, and his family had, that was the black family that everybody looked up to. Like, oh, you know, the daughter is named after him, and then the son's named after her. And it's just like, they were like the strongest black couple in the media that kind of made them weak. You get what I'm saying? So that made them the focal point of laughs and of jokes and of everything else. And it's so hard to get back to being that perfect family. Now it's like everything's out on the table, and you know this is what it is, and everybody's making a joke about my life, and my life isn't a joke.
Yeah, I'm gonna play the next skit, but I just want to say that that's so true. You know, they have the perfect family, but you know, I love the Lord because ain't nobody perfect. And if you think somebody perfect and you trying to live in their footsteps, honey, I got something for you. No. It can look perfect in the outside, but it's never perfect in the inside. Every relationship have its own struggle. That's what keeps you strong. That's what make you who you are. So if you want a perfect relationship and you think everything is fine, it is not. And you're absolutely right. They have been living as a perfect relationship until things happen. And look how strong they are. But I'm gonna go to the next one, and then after that, I'm gonna open up the floor for whoever want to answer. Whoever have anything else to say. See, how old is
She's
she?
8 months. Actually, I'll show you guys.
Oh,
She's so cute.
oh my goodness, I love baby.
Hey, Bubba.
Oh wow!
Hi, I know it's a lot of people, right? I know. Yeah. So, that speech, how do you guys feel? Because, oh my God, I was crying.
Yeah.
I was like, God sees you. That's what I was talking to the team.
Right.
He said, God sees you. Don't care what the world think of you. God sees you, and he knows your pain, and he knows your struggle, and you're human. You don't have to explain that to nobody. Things happen, but you're still going to be blessed because God is still going to bless you. I see it. And not because I'm just spiritual. I just see it because, and he say that Denzel message was also deep. When you're at your what? The devil's going to try you. Okay. And that's the part that I was like,
That was it.
But how, please, what y'all have to say before we open up the floor.
Well, he kept saying he was here to protect. He protected. That's exactly the point I just recently made. Yeah. He was here to protect more than his mom, his wife. I just want to continue to see the protection coming from Black men in general. I thought the speech was very well. I feel bad for him because that moment took away from this moment. That's what I'm really sad about. And I'm sad that nobody else will ever remember anything else. Even the other people who won awards that night, that one moment took that everything else away from them. Outside of that, I don't like that people, I'm gonna just say, I don't like how non-whites and how Black men are on social media fighting for their lives, saying that, oh, he should have slapped her too, when the whole entanglement, that he should have kept that same energy for August Alsina. And like Zabada said, or somebody said that it wasn't unfaithful. They have an open relationship, and that's not no secret. And the only reason why we know anything about this entanglement because August was in his feelings and said something. And by the time he said something, that incident had happened years prior. So no, when you have an agreement with your husband and your wife, first of all, there ain't none of our daggone business. Nope. So no, there wouldn't be no same energy for August. You know what I mean? Don't compare oranges to apples. Him disrespecting his wife and him knowing about a situation that happened with his wife is two totally separate things. I don't agree with how she handled it on the Red Table Talk. That particular instance with the entanglement, that was very disrespectful. I hope after this moment that she never publicly disrespects him ever again. I hope that they continue to thrive. I hope that him and other Black men continue to protect Black women at all costs, because that's why I feel like that if Jada had said something instead of him, she would have been looked, oh, she aggressive. She's the angry Black, but why she say something to a man that her wife did? It's like a damned if you do, damned if you don't type of situation.
I also, just to throw a little wrench in there, what do y'all think? Do y'all think Will Smith would have reacted the same way if it was a white man up there? Because I feel like the backlash would have been completely different. And I feel like he probably would have been taken off of the stage in some handcuffs or anything.
He wouldn't have never went on stage.
Yeah, that's why I know that Chris Rock realized that he messed up. And I realized that, I pray that they do have a Red Table Talk or something, because I just want to see us win. So I'm hoping that it's some forgiveness, some, just getting things where it needs to get. Because I don't like to see us on each other's, I don't like it. And I feel like they're both well-accomplished individuals. And I know they can work it out just to show the world that you know, at the end of the day, that's my brother. At the end of the day, that's my brother. You know what I mean? Yeah. Okay. I think I'm going to I think somebody had their hand up. Hold on. First. Oh, it's a couple people. Oh, I love y'all. Okay.
Interactive.
Yes. Okay. Hold on. Because I saw it first. So it was, is it Sherry?
Yes.
Sherry?
Sherry?
Yes,
And then after
ladies.
Sherry is Jess? Okay.
That's cousin.
So Sherry, you first, and then Jesse.
I'll try to be brief. I applaud the three of you ladies for putting this together so that we can talk about protecting Black hair. So bravo. And I have to keep asking myself, why is this resonating with me? Why is this touching my spirit? I don't even know these people. And there's so much to unpack with this situation. So I guess the one thing I will say of the many thoughts going through my head is, I guess I have the unpopular opinion because I don't feel like Will was justified in going up there and hitting Chris. I understand Crystal's point about, you know, Jada dealing with a medical issue. I didn't know she was suffering from alopecia, so I'm looking at it from that perspective. We're assuming that he knew that she had alopecia. I'm looking at it as he made a G.I. Jane joke. That's my generation. I get when the movie came out, Demi Moore was bald, and it was like, wow, she's brave, she's tough, she's pulling it off. Like that, what was in my mind. And when I see these videos of Jada, what she's projecting to me is that she's confident in her baldness. So again, if he knew about the joke and he delivered the joke, I'm thinking he delivered the joke in a sense that she's confident in her baldness. She's sharing it with the world. She's saying she don't care what people thinks about it. That's one. And then two, like, you're a celebrity. That's what comedians do. And we all know, we've said it, there is something between Chris and Will and Jada. Was it a jab? It probably was, but there was a better way to handle it. With the exception of this conversation we're having, like you all have said, that slap took away from the real issue. And there was a better way that they could have brought to light this alopecia and how people are suffering from it. I hope that all made sense.
Yes, thank you so much.
And just to say, apparently Chris Rock didn't know about that she had alopecia, and I didn't know either. I thought she just cut her hair, was out here rocking it. I loved it. I did not. So when I first heard it, and I was like Sherry, I was like, okay, it was a G.I. Jane joke. I don't get it. I thought it was funny. And then when I found out she had alopecia, my whole everything changed.
Oh, and I'm sorry, I apologize, Crystal. You just reminded me. Will laughed at the joke too.
Yes.
So
yes,
I don't see like a heat of the moment. I've seen red. I've had a heat of the moment where I've regretted it. I don't see that. I didn't see that from Will's speech. I didn't see that when he was singing, getting jiggy with it at the after party. Like, that was not a heat of the moment. He laughed. He saw that he screwed up when he saw her face. He felt like he did what he needed to do.
That's exactly what happened. He saw her face, because she was straight from the rip. She was not laughing at all.
But so I seen the Red Table Talk, and that Red Table Talk came out a while ago. And I know that whoever Chris Rock team is, you have to do more research, you know, because you can be making fun of somebody that had cancer. You can't use that excuse that you don't know. But you're absolutely right. Will, you know how, I don't know if he was really laughing though. I felt like, you know, a lot of people say he was laughing, then he turned around and then looked at his wife. But I think, you know how you like, because they say that before this incident, they had a conversation. And remember, you sent me the conversation, Crystal.
Yeah, but then some people were saying that it wasn't real, so I don't know.
Exactly.
I feel like he might have been laughing at the previous joke.
And somebody else said that too.
I feel like the previous joke was about Will, and I feel like he was laughing at that. And then, like,
it flowed
And
into
then
the
they
next joke.
because
Christian slid into it with that.
yeah.
So I
But
feel like he might have still been laughing at the old joke. I don't really think that
yeah.
I don't think that it was because he looked at his wife and saw. I feel like he was still laughing from the last joke because I watched the whole thing.
Because
So,
there's no way that you
Because
can
well, he had time to
wife.
say, Jada, I love you,
Okay.
girl. So like whatever happened before that, he
see, but that's the
right,
thing.
yeah.
We don't know. But I know that ain't no way that my husband's gonna be sitting there laughing when I have alopecia. Like, what you think this is? So
He getting smacked.
I feel like I don't think he was laughing at the joke when it was towards his wife, because he would have never got up and smacked him. I felt like he probably was like, okay, probably laughing at the joke with him. But the way he kind of like the way Chris did it, he twisted. Like, I don't know, it was just like it flowed. So it made it look like he was laughing, because I feel like for you to get up and smack somebody, you can't, unless you know how you like, you think you're funny. You think you're funny. We only seen clips of it, so we don't fully know. And that's the part we don't know. Only God knows what.
Well, one last thing, and I promise this is it. I'm old school, and so I'm used to celebrities getting it. We all know Michael Jackson, Vitiligo. The comedians was getting it in on Michael Jackson every day, medical condition.
Yeah,
that's true.
It's not the same energy.
So
me,
but I
maybe
feel
that's my
like
perspective.
it's not the same time. Also, like it's not how it was back then. People are a little more sensitive when it comes to these different things. I don't even feel like comedy is even the same as it used to be back then, because it used to be okay for you to crack on gay people and things like that. Now in a time where it's like people are creating names for different sexualities, and people are coming out about these things that bother them, and the time is too sensitive for you to even make jokes about that. Comedy has changed so much where you can't just come out and say things like that. It's just not how comedy is today.
And I think that he knows that. I just feel like he look at it as, well, we're both, Black. That's why I say that I feel like we're very insensitive towards one another, because a lot of people, well, we're Black, you can say the N-word. No, if you say the N-word to me and I'm not feeling you, we're going to have a problem.
Period.
Because it's okay for you to say it, then, then you have a problem with somebody. No, we're not, we just have to be sensitive right now. I think, Nina, did you say something? Let me see what she wrote. Can anybody see what she wrote?
Hold on. She said, to me, it looked like he was laughing at the joke, but it's not definite. It's not definitive. I guess we shall see once they talk about it. Yeah, I think they're gonna make up.
I also like I feel like a right place and a right time for everything. Like, I kind of wish he would have never smacked him right there. Like, I feel like y'all have a close enough relationship for me to have to see you behind closed doors. And if I got to smack you, I got to smack you. Because I feel like that was a focal point for the white people to look at us and say, this is why y'all don't win Oscars. This is why I haven't nobody run an Oscar in this area in X amount of years. I feel like that was a big thing for them to sit and laugh at us and make jokes because, oh, look, more Black on Black crime, So, yes, I feel it was right for him to protect his wife, but I also feel like it was the wrong place because it took away so much that we always been working for. Nobody else even realized Samuel L. Jackson got a whole world. Nobody even realized Questlove won a whole award after that. It was so much taken away from Black people with the one Black event that was so negative. You get what I'm saying? Like, and I just hate that for us, Now it's like the get back. How do we get back from that? How do we go back to people looking at us and respecting us? How do we go back to, I'm Will Smith and I never did a negative thing in the media. And now this is going to be the biggest thing out of his whole life's career. I bet you from the time now until the time he dies, people will be talking about this smack. And nobody's going to talk about how he won his Oscar.
Yeah, absolutely. You hit those points.
Yes, you did.
Wait, Nina said it too. Oh, wait.
Yes. I feel like, I think this was a great idea to do this this video. I think this was a great topic to talk about. I feel like a lot happened that night, and it's a lot to unravel. In terms of their relationship, I feel like there's a lot of people who have so much to say about a relationship that has nothing to do with them. You don't know what goes on in people's marriages. That's their marriage, and that's something for them to handle, and that's problems for them to fix together. Like, they're still strong together, apparently.
20 years.
So the fact that people are still worried about the August Alsina thing, what does it have to do with you? How does it take away from your daily life? Help me understand, because it doesn't make any sense that they're stuck on this and it's affecting their relationship and they've already moved on from it. It makes no sense to me. And it bothers me that Black men sit here and continuously overlook the fact that most of them don't protect Black women in any way, shape, or form. They're insecure and they refuse to acknowledge the fact that they are there. Some of them are jealous of Black women. They don't want to see us succeed. They don't want to see us be protected. They don't want to see us thrive. And that's a big issue for me. But I love the fact that Will protected his wife. I feel like he did what he did. Was it right? No, he should have never slapped him on the stage. But I feel like you had the audacity to disrespect his wife in front of him. He had the audacity to slap the shit out of you. That's just how I feel. Excuse my language.
You said what
but
she said.
I feel like, yes, there were jokes back then, that were insensitive, but we never know how those jokes affected those people. Because people can laugh at things and they can show that they're good, but at the end of the day, you don't know what people are going through. As a group, as Black people, I'm Haitian, even as Caribbeans or Africans, we never took mental health seriously.
Come
and
on,
it's not
talk
until
about it.
now that
Talk
we're getting
about it.
into that. So think about the jokes that were made back in the day and it affected those people, but we don't know how it affected them. You see what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make any sense to continue to speak on what people go through or how they look or things that are happening in their lives. If you got to make fun of somebody to tell a joke, you're not funny.
Exactly.
That's how I feel. You're not funny at all, because you don't know what people go through. Life is hard. Like, it's serious. Like, people take their lives on a daily basis because people keep trying them or making fun of them. It's not funny.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jess.
But yeah, that's how I feel about it. Thank you, guys.
You're welcome. I just want to say thank you, everybody that was on here. Some people just left, but we had about like 11 or 12 people on here. So that's pretty good. Yeah, we got to do this again. And it is a sensitive topic, especially because, all these Black queens are on here. Like, we just wanted to be left alone. And I feel like, before I go, so our amazing Supreme, Supreme, a judge, is it Judge?
Katanji, yep.
Yeah.
Jackson. Yeah. And you guys see what she's going through. And it's unfair. Again, it's Black people being discriminated, trying to see if we're smart and, trying to judge us. And, so it just shows how the world sees us. And that's why this is so important. That's why I push so hard on my YouTube. And Crystal, I do too, because I talk about mental health a lot. And I talk about just being sensitive towards one another. And I feel like in our community, like Jesse said, we need to be more aware of that. We need to be more aware of just being sensitive towards one another and dealing with mental health. And, we're humans. So human beings, we are, I hear people say we are unbreakable. No, we are breakable. Okay. Emotionally, everything. And we as Black people, our race, we carry it so well. You go to the job interview, you don't want to see, you don't want them to see you crack, and you have to hold up this mask all the time. We're tired. We are tired. we don't want to be the jokes of everybody. Like we just don't. And it brings me to tears to even say it. So just, bringing that judge up, we as Black women go through a lot, and it's unfair. And again, Jada, she's our sister, and she's going through the same thing. And people are making fun of, with her bald head. I hear all the jokes, and we can't make light out of that. Like, it's just, yes, it's comedy, but imagine that's you. Forget about being your family. Imagine that's you, and you had something that's sensitive on you, and somebody talking about you. You try to laugh it up, but you can't, because it's painful. No, I think wait, Sherry got her hand back up. Sherry, what you have to say?
Sorry, y'all.
No, go ahead.
Again, I appreciate the conversation, but one thing I do want to add is, if we have an expectation for our brothers to respect us, then we have to set the precedent and start uplifting each other ourselves. Again, create a community like you ladies are right now. And again, I'm older, so I'm looking at it from a different perspective. And even my generation, we're guilty of it. The little Kims and the Eves, but you know where I'm going with this. The rapping and, dressed provocatively and rapping about promiscuity. Like, we have to be accountable for that. Like, you can't pick and choose when you want to be respected and when it's okay for you to, this is me expressing myself. That's just my opinion. Like, we have to hold ourselves to a higher standard if we're going to project that expectation on our men to be there to protect us, because they're confused.
I will say, yeah, she's right, because that's what I have heard other Black men say, well, y'all don't respect yourself, so why should we? She's absolutely right.
I agree with you too. I mean, I feel like you see, like, even on here, I call you guys queens, because I call myself a queen. And I say that for a reason. It's not because I'm conceited or whatever, but I want you to know who you are. And you're right. We have to start respecting one another. We have to start, like, just appreciating one another, because if we're not showing them how to treat us, then, like, what are we doing? Okay, guys. Thank you, guys. Wait, someone said, oh, yes, queen. I know that's right. But I just want to say thank you, everybody. Oh, Crystal, talk about your YouTube and everything, so that everybody.
Oh yeah, so my YouTube is coming back. I haven't posted in a long time, so I'm going to put this on my YouTube. It's called The Collective, and that's Collective with a K, of course, because why would it be anything else? My hair ain't pink no more, but it's okay. That's because somebody on this call wanted to get married. She here. I was throwing shade. Okay, she left us. All right, I'll tell her later. She on here. Somebody wanted to get married, and I had to not have pink hair no more. So, and I had to grow it out. Child, the ghetto. But
a
yes.
little fat, but I love you. I'm still on here. Don't get it twisted. I'm working.
She gonna hear my mouth till August 28th.
Yeah.
But yes, I will be posting this back on my YouTube, and makeup and all that. You see the Couture Lab coming through. You go to www.thecouturelab.com. And thank you again for agreeing to do this. Thank you everybody who came on and put in their 2 cents. I love this safe space. Yes, we will do it again.
Yes.
I just want to say thank you for having me, and I'm gonna just throw my little bit of advertisement in. I just recently dropped my book on Kindle. It's a poetry book. It's called Dedication to Darkness. That's all for me.
Where can we get these books at?
Yes, you gotta put it out there.
Dedication to Darkness, you can go on Amazon and you can purchase it on Amazon, but you have to download the Kindle app to actually read the book. So you can go through Kindle and you can purchase it, or you can go through Amazon and you can purchase it. You just type in Dedication to Darkness, I'll pop up. I'll be the first one.
Yes. And thank you. Yeah, and this is not gonna be your last time because we're gonna have you back up here again.
I enjoyed this so much.
Yes. So okay, so my YouTube is called Outside the Box with Lala. I also have a charity called You Are Not Forgotten Inc. And what we do is we help out the local homeless community, and we help them with, like, I think the wintertime we did Kensington, and we give out clothes and food and everything. So I also have a t-shirt, and my sister Mimi, I don't know if she's still on here, but she created these amazing stuff. It said You Are Not Forgotten Inc. and our mission statement, and I'm gonna talk about that later. But please follow me on my YouTube. I talk about mental health a lot and what's going on in society, especially in the Black community. We do not talk about mental health, and in our African community, you know, we do not talk about mental health, and it's a major thing. And I feel like when you have so much going on and you feel like you like you got to take your life, then you need to check in. Something needs to be done. And that's why I talk about a lot about mental health. And anybody that's going through mental health, or know anybody that's going through mental health, please check out Outside the Box with Lala. I am going to put everybody's information on the bottom too, so that everybody knows. But and please, like, let's do counseling, let's do therapy, and I don't have no degree, but I can only speak from experience of what I went through. But yes, guys, that's about it. And this was amazing. I like
this. Was good.
I had a good time on here. But thank you guys again, and till next time. Right?
Yep.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
You're so welcome.